Peace, family. This is yours truly, Amar Mari, and I am the founder of Tribal Unity Organization. My queen, Amani Mari, is the CEO of Tribal Unity Organization, and we have our good brother, Hakeem, here with us. He is the CEO of Urana. And as you all know, I'm wearing the attire that one of my good brothers sold me, man, brother Dr. AK, man, and him and brother Dr. AK, they're partners, and he's gonna be establishing a hard stand store here.
Yes, sir.
And he's gonna be selling those items. Also, he's gonna be at the Wealth Building Strategy event on May 19th.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
With himself and the models that are going to be modeling the Urana clothing line.
Yes, sir.
He's the one that's actually our supplier, and I'm telling you, man, they do phenomenal business. You know, we want everyone to get blessed. We want everyone to have this clothing. Okay, this is a lifestyle.
Yes, most
is
definitely.
It not, bro?
It's a culture. Yes, definitely.
Absolutely, man. And I'm telling you, my brother, I have heard him on YouTube. And he has a phenomenal video on YouTube. I provided the link there on the video. So if you guys want to go watch the video, it's very powerful. He's going to give us a smidget of that on today and whatnot. Queen Amani Mar, appreciate you. Thank you for tuning in. Beautiful. And, you know, brother, just talk to us, man. I mean, you have the Adinkra symbols on, I see. You know, I have this symbol on. And in the video, our brother was breaking that down, man. You know, the title of our business, my queen and I, is called Alkebulan Lifestyle. And this brother was a part of the reason why I named it that after I had watched this video. Because, man, once I watched it, the power, man, you know, of the knowledge that our brother was sharing about the culture. He went to Accra, Ghana. That's where the clothes are actually made and brought here. Handmade, my brother said. You know, and he was breaking down their Adinkra symbols. And it had blessed me and my queen because she was the one who actually shared the video with me. And I said, wow, man. You know, I said, that was absolutely powerful. You know, and she shared it with me, and I know he's grateful because I'm wearing their clothes now.
No doubt. No doubt about it. No doubt about it.
Man, talk to us, brother Hakeem, man.
No
Stronger together, brother.
Yes,
Stronger together.
Nguvu Pamoja.
Yes, sir.
Yes, stronger together. I mean, while first of all, it's an honor to be here. I'm very grateful to be here, and I send honor to all of the ancestors, including the Most High. You know, yeah, I'm humbled, you know, to have this opportunity to even talk about the clothing. You understand? So I mean, the Adinkra symbols, which is one element of our clothing that really attracts a lot of our consumers, is first of all we refer to the continent not as Africa because we know that Africa is the name from Scipios Africanus. It is the name from the Roman Italian invader who was the first person to quote unquote conquer, by their terminology, the region. And we know that when you name something after yourself in their culture, it means that conquered people of. So when you name Africa, it is conquered people of Africa, Scipios Africanus. So that's what it means to be named after someone. That's why when they brought the slaves over, they named us after them. It means conquered people of whoever name you're carrying, you're conquered by that family. So that's what that means when they change your name. So we do refer to the continent as Alkebulan. And yes, Alkebulan is a Muslim name, but we do not adhere to any religion. The people who discovered that name while doing their research along the Nile River region of Africa may have named it from their dialect, which was Aramic, but we are not adherents to any religious systems because we know that religion was the things that they brought to the Alkebulan man in order to begin their enslavement. You cannot enslave a soul. So first, I have to bind your soul in religious rhetoric in order to get you to submit your service unto us. And we are already spiritual people. So they understood from the people that used to come to Kemet and study our mindset and study all of our discoveries and theologies and all of our spirituality, they already knew that we were a spiritual people. So if we want to enslave these people, we have to have a spiritual means in order to get them enslaved. So that is the term Alkebulan. And Alkebulan, what we call it, is pre-colonial Africa. Pre-colonial Africa. That's what we refer to it as, pre-colonial Africa. And most of our people across the diaspora do not know what we lived like before colonialism. It is largely unknown. We have been taught that our history started, we were sitting in Africa and slave ships came. We're not taught anything about how we were living before our interaction with colonialism. That is why Alkebulan, pre-colonial Africa, is so important. So the first thing that I discovered upon my studies is, and I use studies not as reading from a book, but spiritually speaking to the ancestors and asking them to reveal to me the truth. The truth is there, but they will not reveal anything unto you until you are ready to receive it. So until you are ready to come out of the mind state that you are in, until you have overcome complacency or comfort or just fear of the unknown, they will not reveal anything to you. You will live your whole entire lifetime under this illusion. So when I reached the point that I was ready to know the truth, no matter how of a stark contrast it was to everything that we've been presented, then they begin to lead me now to the studying material. So I don't want us to think that it's in books. It is in communicating with your higher self. And your higher self is there with everyone else, even though your body is here. So studying, it led me to the Adinkra symbols. One of the first things it led me to was the Adinkra symbols. And the Adinkra symbols come from the Ashanti people of the Ivory Coast region, the Akan people, okay? And when I was looking up the meanings behind the Adinkra symbols, it becomes indicative. It becomes the indicator of the lifestyle, one of the first indicators of the lifestyle of the way our people were before colonialism. So you have symbols here that means interconnectedness. Symbol here that means you have an alligator that shares the same stomach, and it says two people that share the same stomach do not fight over food. These are all of the different Adinkra symbols, love, unity. They have Adinkra symbols for altars, Adinkra symbols for hope, Adinkra symbols for God is in the heavens. He hears all our prayers. Therefore, do not lose hope. This is the whole entire symbolic language of the people there. So now this became, like I said, the first indicator to me as to who we are as a people. So now we incorporate these Adinkra symbols into the making of our clothing. So I would see my people, see my youth, see my brothers, see my sisters, and they're walking around in these clothes that says lazy but talented. I am not a role model. Don't follow your dreams, follow my Instagram page. So you have to realize that your clothing is a reflection of who you are. And as Gandhi stated, you cannot claim to be free while still wearing the clothing of your oppressors. So as long as they are clothing us and we're wearing these clothes that's saying, I'm not a role model, we would never take leadership positions. We're wearing these clothing that says, I'm lazy but talented, we would never do the hard work and pick up the responsibility that it takes to be who we are. So we put these Adinkra symbols in our clothing as a way to rebrand our people. What the culture, what our oppressors have done, they have reversed spirituality. They have reversed nature. They have reversed the wisdom of the Most High. So we re-reverse it. So instead of a shirt that says lazy but talented, we will put on a shirt that has the Adinkrahana symbol, which is the symbol that means leadership that inspires creation.
I see.
Z. Instead of putting on a shirt that says, I'm not a role model or get high all day, we have Nyansapo, which means wisdom and ingenuity in finding a solution to a goal. And now we put these symbols into all the clothing and we put these symbols on our youth and we begin there. So that is the founding and the beginning of how we started incorporating the Adinkra symbols into our clothing design.
Wonderful. That was absolutely phenomenal.
Yes, sir.
And this is the mentality we want our people to have. We want a transformation. This is not a fad. You have so many people that ran out during the time of Black Panther and they purchased Alkebulan clothing. And that's good. However, when it's a lifestyle, it's a part of your heart. And when something is a part of your heart, it's an everyday thing. Every day. When it takes root in your consciousness, when your mind transforms, it transforms not only your thought process, but your thought process, when it transforms your outward.
Yes, I share.
So your clothing changes. The way you eat changes.
Yes.
Your friends actually change.
Right. I share.
You have to surround yourself with people who will empower you, like our brother Hakeem right here. Brother, you went to Accra, Ghana, man. Tell us about your experience there. You even talked to me about the dungeons and, and the way that people interacted with each other when someone stole something. You know, so talk to us about your experience over in Accra, Ghana.
I mean, it is an experience that we all need to take, but I would say it is an experience that those who are seeking for leadership position in the Black community must take. There is something about never being outside of the bubble that makes it hard for you to fight something. You can be in the belly of the beast, but it's harder to fight the beast when you never come out of that belly, you know? So it's actually going to the region that we claim here. It gives you a different perspective. And actually going over there, actually being over there, I wanted to see the dungeons for myself. You know, because in seeking the Most High and seeking spirituality and just seeking knowledge of self, you will reach a point where you don't want to hear anything from third parties. You don't want anybody to tell you what happened, but that you need to go and see these things for yourself. And it was always a trip I wanted to make, so I made the trip. And what was verified to me upon my time of being there is that out of all the Afrocentric organizations that we have, all the Afrocentric organizations, Black organizations, or any organizations dealing with the diaspora, whether it be Black Lives Matter or NAACP or Pan-Africanist organizations of any kind, the one thing that is in common between all of these organizations is they have no connection to the continent.
Wow.
Not one of them have any connection to the continent at all.
Say that again, brother. They don't what?
All of these Pan-African movements, NAACP, Black Lives Matter, and all of these organizations that's claiming Afrocentrism, Florida African American Student Association, all of these organizations, none of them have any connection to the continent at all. They don the name Africa, but when you don the name Africa, well, you got to kind of understand what that connotates. But none of them have any connection to the region, because if they did, their whole entire way of moving and their whole entire way of thinking would be completely and totally different. And that's what happened to me. It's like my brother said, it was a transformation. You know, you can have knowledge, understanding, and wisdom, but there comes transformation. You can have the knowledge and you can have the understanding and you can have the wisdom, but until now that begins to transform who you are now, it's still apart from you. It hasn't been incorporated into who you are as a person.
Right on.
And that is what we're seeing in leadership right now that we have in the African American community. That is what we're seeing right now. People who have the knowledge and wisdom, but are not changed by it. So going to the continent, it changed me. And one of the experiences that was so powerful for me, really the reason I went to the dungeons. I remember when I was watching the Bob Marley documentary, and in the beginning of the Bob Marley documentary, they are standing through the doorway where they used to walk the slaves out on the porch. So when I went there, I went to that exact location. I went to the dungeons, and I cried there. I cried because I went there and I opened, it's crazy, but I went there and I said, I opened my mind, I opened my heart, I opened my spirit. I want to feel And you be careful when you say stuff like that in slave dungeons. I say, I want to feel everything that our ancestors felt. And it took me in a place. It took me to a very place. And when you go into these dungeons, I always ask the question, how hard do you have to scratch to leave nail marks in solid stone? And now when you go into these dungeons, you see scratch marks in the stones because they would lock the people in here without food or water. It would be 9 or 10 people and they would not open the door until the last one has died. So now if you're person number 10, you're in there with 9 dead bodies, decomposing, urine and feces everywhere, no oxygen, no ventilation, and you're literally banging and clawing, and now you're scratching, digging at the stone until you die. And you die with bloody fingertips. If bloody fingertips. You see? And these were our kings. These was our fathers. These was our elders. This was done so that the keepers of our history, the keepers of our genealogy, the keepers of our connection to Africa would be taken out, therefore our connection severed. And now all we would have is traumatized mothers who would now raise any other males to be weak and submissive out of fear that they would do the same thing to them that they did to those people in those dungeons. So, wow, seeing this for myself and seeing the way the people live, no crime. We was walking the street at 3 o'clock in the morning and there's an old lady sitting in front of her store selling sodas. No crime. People living together in peace. People living together in harmony. I was telling my brother, the only issue that we saw that was there was somebody tried to steal some fruit or somebody tried to pay less than what was asked for the fruit, or they thought he was trying to pay with fake money. And their way of chastising him was for everybody to gather in the street and be like, that's, in the language, but that's not right. Swindler, swindler, swindler. That's not right. And they were rebuking him because what he did was unrighteous conduct. It's weird to say, like, if you try to steal something here, they might be like, oh man, you could have got away with it. But the fact that he tried to leave without paying a woman, it was a big deal. Like, we don't do that here. That's not how we operate here. And the people gathered and surrounded him in the street to the way the guy was like, no. I wouldn't do that. Here's the money. So even the act of living unrighteously towards your neighbor is frowned upon there. We was talking about violence, and they were saying even if you attack or assault somebody in Ghana, the police will practically put you under the jail. They will lock you away because that is not how they operate. And before leaving America, I have never seen interactions between our people that weren't violent, that weren't hostile. I've never seen neighborhoods of African American people who lived in peace towards one another. So it gave me a completely different perspective at looking at the issue, and this completely different perspective gave me a completely different solution to the problem. And as long as you stay in this country and you don't travel out to go back to your homeland, you will think that your solutions are here. But when you travel out to see your homeland, then you will begin that the solution is actually here. And it's something that we must manifest, and we will stop looking outwardly for the solution to what's going on. And that's what we hope these clothes facilitate an inner manifestation and break the mindset of looking outwardly, whether it be government, politics, or a God outside of yourself. We hope that it breaks that mindset by going to the continent and seeing literally who we are on the inside as it is played out throughout the people on that continent. So it was a life-changing experience.
I say. So, brother, you also talked to me about how they do business.
Yep.
Kaka.
Yep.
So, for those you don't know, I call them Kaka. Kaka, that means my brother. Right. And what's the other word? Hashim for brother?
Kaka and Ndugu.
Kaka and
Ndugu. Ndugu is like my brother. Kaka is like my kin.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Uh-huh.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You see that? I love it. And brothers teaching us our language, man. This is a beautiful thing. That's why I love networking.
Yes.
And King, you had talked to me, Malik. You had talked to me about how we actually do business, man.
Right.
Far as business transactions. Talk to us about your experience with that as well.
The way they do business there is, I remember hearing this song by Bob Marley called No Worry, No Cry.
Yeah.
And he was talking about how he would have a plate of corned beef porridge and how he would share it with you. And that is the way they do business there. The way they do business there is, if I have $5 and there's 5 people in the house, then I have $1. You think about that. Everybody eats. If there's 10 people in the house and I have $10, then I have $1, because we have to make sure that we buy for everyone to eat. So if we get a loaf of bread, it's not, oh, well, I get a sandwich and I eat it in front of you when you're hungry. No, we have to get a big loaf and we have to sit down and we have to piece this loaf out between everybody. If we're going to get sodas or drinks, we have to get either a big one or we have to get 10 sodas for everybody. And if we don't have enough to get a big one or 10 sodas or a big loaf of bread, then we have to find something cheaper that we can get for everybody, or we have to go and work and make the money, and we count how much we make based on how many people that we have to help feed. It is complete and total interconnectiveness. And it's not the mindset that we have here. The mindset that we have here in this quote unquote free marketplace is that competition makes advancement. So if we make all of the businesses in this market compete against each other, that will force them to develop better products in order to surpass their competition. That's the mindset that is enveloped here, and you will learn that in your business school. That's not the mindset there. The mindset there is we all operate interconnectively together. What does that mean? That means I grow blueberries, you grow apples, you grow wheat, and you grow corn. I need corn because my daughter likes corn. You need wheat because you want to make bread. So now we trade wheat, we trade corn. I have blueberries, your daughter likes blueberry pancakes, my son likes apples. We don't harm one another because you make something that I depend on to survive. It's not, if you grow blueberries, I'm going to start growing blueberries too, so it keeps you in a relationship where you no longer matter. No, if you grow blueberries, we come to you for blueberries. So when everybody is growing something that everybody needs for bartering and trading and interconnected business, then everybody has that level of reverence towards each other, because I cannot destroy someone who provides for me. But there is no competition of, well, how can I produce it better? So it builds a network to where everyone depends upon one another. And now when everyone is dependent upon one another, nobody can hurt or harm someone else, because I am actually harming myself, because we have a connected business together. And that is what we miss here. We miss one person can in himself try to produce everything you need. No, if that's what you produce, that's what you produce. This is what I produce. This is what I produce.
That's right.
And we honor that dependency that we have on each other. It's not like this system where dependency upon someone else becomes a weakness. It's actually strength.
Yes.
Over there.
Yes.
That's how they do business.
Yes.
Yeah.
My brother just talked about the 7 principles of Kwanzaa just in that short period of time. I heard Ujamaa.
Yep.
I heard Ujamaa. I heard that, unity and corporate economics. I heard that, man. I heard Imani. I heard faith in my brother. And my kaka, and my dada, my sister.
Right.
Well, Brother Hashim, Asante. Asante Kaka.
Karibu.
Thank you so much for coming on. Listen, our brother, he's going to be there at our event on May the 19th. Unfortunately, it's sold out, family. However, you can watch his video And also, again, he's one of our suppliers. Matter of fact, our supplier, for this clothing. Urana is the clothing. Okay. And I highly encourage you to check my brother out, check the site out. We are a family. This is a family business.
No doubt.
Alkebulan Lifestyle is a branch off from Urana. So I want this to be known. This is my brother.
Yes.
And the more of us who distribute this clothing, the better it is, because our people need to get in touch with their culture.
Yes. Yes.
We need each other.
Yes.
I have the bread. You have the cheese. He has the lettuce. Bring all those things together and we all can make a sandwich.
Right. Right.
Think about that. We have to do it together.
Right.
Ujamaa.
Jama.
Unity. Money.
Yes.
Peace.